Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Ka, Halayim La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. All praise be to the Most High, Yahweh, in the name of Mashiach Yahweh Shah, in the name of the Holy Spirit. And double honors to the big brother, of Great Millstone, and to the rest of the brethren on down is teaching and preaching the truth of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Shalom Bayatah Dabada. And to the Akim and Akwat that's repenting and returning back to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Shalom to you, Mashpakah. This Yahakarab coming at you with just a quick one, real quick one. And it's a small testimony, but of course I'm going to have to bring out some scriptures too. And that's why I got this image here. Because it goes along with the testimony. But let me just get straight into it. The mind is powerful. And the Most High will do great things with your mind. Because he ultimately, he controls it. He controls your mind. He put things in it and take things out of it. And I said that to say this. That these are gifts that the Most High will give you. Abilities. And this is basically going to go into discernment. Because, I'm going to say it like this. Me and my wife was watching a movie one time. And the commercial came on. And I never saw this movie before. But what was going to happen next in the movie, like not just one thing, I spoke about many things that was going to happen when it come back on. And I never saw the movie before, ever. And what happened when the commercial went off, and the movie came back on? Exactly what I said was going to happen. It happened exactly to the T. And she didn't believe me. She was, oh no, you saw that movie before. And I was sitting, no, I never saw it before. But she was real persistent on thinking that I actually saw the movie before. And I'm like, I never saw the movie before. I just knew what was going to happen next because it was in my mind. What was going to happen now? Who put that in my mind? Who gave me that ability to discern? The Most High. Slakia. Yeah, and she was real persistent that I saw that movie before. And I kept telling her I never saw it before. You don't give yourself these particular abilities. It's the Most High that put these things in your head and give you these certain abilities. See? So you give all praise and honor and glory to these things if you can acknowledge this. You give all praise to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. See? And everything happened exactly how I said it was going to happen. It happened exactly like it. I was shocked myself, like, man, I was amazed myself because I'm like, I never saw the movie before. And I'm like, man, it literally happened exactly what I said was going to happen to the T. But let me pull out some of these scriptures because it's all of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. I just wanted to do a quick hit. But let me pull out these scriptures. Let me go into them real quick. Let's open up with this one. Let's go to 1 Corinthians, 12th chapter. And I'm going to start at verse 4. And I'm going to read down. Well, let me see. I'm going to read down to verse 10. But let's start at 4. 1 Corinthians 12 and 4. Now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. And there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord. And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same power, Yahweh, which worketh all in all. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit therewith. Slakia, to profit withal. For to one is given the Spirit of the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge by the same Spirit, to another faith by the same Spirit, to another the gifts of healing by the same Spirit, to another the working of miracles, to another prophecy, to another discerning of spirits. And that's my point right there. To another discerning of spirits, to another diverse kinds of tongues, to another the interpretation of tongues. But all these things worketh that one and the self same Spirit, divided to every man severally as he will. So the Most High will give you these spiritual abilities whenever he see fit to give you. See? And that's one thing I always thought that Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua gave me. The spirit to discern, of discernment. And that goes with the mind. Mashiach had that abundantly. The Most High poured it on him, but I get that. But let's go here. Let's go into this word, discerning. Let's go into that real quick. Discerning, diakrisis. Let's see how they say it.
Strong's G 1253. Diakrisis. Diakrisis.
Diakrisis. And what does it say? A distinguishing, discerning, judgment. Okay. It said, but let's get some more on that though. Let's go into the Hebrew for that discerning. Let's go there. Let's go to 1 Kings 3. And I'm going to start at verse 8. No, let me see. Well, I'll start here at verse 7. 1 Kings 3 and verse 7. And now, O Yahweh, my power, thou hast made thy servant king instead of David my father. And I am but a little child. I know not how to go out or come in. And thy servant is in the midst of thy people, which thou hast chosen, a great people. Thou cannot be numbered nor counted for multitude. Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart, meaning mind, lob, to judge thy people, that I may discern, what? Discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this thy so great a people? But let's go into that discern. Let's grab that discern. What is it? Bayan. Bayan. And it says what? To discern, understand, consider, to perceive, discern, to understand, know with the mind. That's powerful right there. To know with the mind. to observe, mark, give heed to, distinguish, consider, to have discernment, insight, understanding. That's a powerful one too. But let's go grab that one right quick. Let's grab that insight. Let's grab that insight. But it says right here, what? To understand, know with the mind. Whew. That's that ability that the Most High will give you to know with your mind. But let's go into that insight. I want to punch that up right quick. Insight. Come on now. What the hell going on? Insight. The capacity to gain an accurate and deep, intuitive understanding of a person or thing. It says what? Intuition. Let's go and grab that right quick. Intuition.
Intuition.
It says what? The ability to understand something immediately without the need for conscious reasoning. Hey, that's an ability that the Most High will give you. Without you even having to take a thought into something, you would already know. What does it say? Intuition. The ability to understand something immediately without the need for conscious reasoning. That's fire. But what it says, let's read that insight again. The capacity to gain an accurate and deep intuitive understanding of a person or thing. Let's grab some synonyms. Intuition, perception, awareness, discernment. There goes that word right there. Discernment, understanding, comprehension, apprehension, appreciation, cognizance, penetration, acumen, perspicacity. I'm tongue-tied on that one.
Perspicacity.
Perspicacity. And what does it say about that perspicacity? The quality of having a ready insight into things. What does it say? The quality of having a ready insight into things. Meaning to know things. To something to be in your mind. See? But let's grab some more. That's discernment. The ability to judge well, but according to things that's in your mind. And Solomon had that ability. Yahweh was, Most High gave him that ability without measure. See? But let's grab this. And who gives you that ability in your mind? Let's go to the scriptures right quick. But first, let me see. Well, I already got that. But I want to grab this right quick. Hold on. I want to go into that discern right quick. Let's go into that discern. Well, I already went into that in Slakia. But you say it says to what? To know. To know these. That's a gift from the Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. But let's go to this scripture. But that was fire though. To know with the mind. Insight. Intuition. Meaning to know things for these things to be in your mind. That's why I said, when I watched that movie and the commercial came on, I was able to tell her these particular things that was going to happen when it came back on. And they happened exactly how I said it was going to happen. I never saw that movie a day in my life. I was baffled myself that I knew those things, that I knew what was going to happen. But it was all of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. But let's grab this. Let's go to Proverbs 21 and verse 1. Just a quick hit, couple more. Proverbs 21 and verse 1. The king's heart, meaning your mind, is in the hand of Yahweh, As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. See? Just read verse 2. Let's read verse 2 too. Every way of man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord Yahweh pondereth the hearts, meaning your mind. See? But the Most High is what put things in your mind. He gives you that ability that will be in your mind. If you can tell something, it comes from him. Like I was in the store, and this guy, the dude that worked in the store, like, I guess he was Elam, and he asked me, "Yeah, how old you think I am?" And I'm like, "What?" He said, "How old you think I am?" I looked to the side, and I saw in my mind a fluffy cloud and the number of a 52. So I looked back at him, and I said 52. He was baffled. He said, how you know that? How you know that? And I said, "Man, you 52? And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Serious, man, you 52? And he said, "Yeah." I didn't tell him what I saw. I didn't tell him that I saw in my mind a fluffy cloud and the number of 52. I didn't tell him that. I kept it to myself. But I just acted, humble and meek about it. I just said, "Oh, I just took a guess." But I didn't actually guess. The Most High had put it into my head. And I said what I saw, and I was correct. Prove my point. The Most High control, he put in your mind. He give you these certain abilities. Let's go to Proverbs 16. The preparations of the heart, meaning mind, in man, and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord Yahweh. See? But let's go into that preparations real quick. I ain't meaning for it to be this long, but hey, let's just grab this. Ma'arak. Ma'arak. And what does it say? Arrangement, plan, preparation, coming down, and arrangement, i.e. figuratively, mental disposition. Now let's go to this one though. Just a few more. Because the Most High give you this ability. What did he give? Didn't he give Mashiach that ability? See, matter of fact, let's grab that. St. John. And he gave Mashiach. I'm going to go to this one first. Let's grab this. St. John. Let me see. 33. Let me see. I started 31. St. John 3:31. He that cometh from above is above all. He that is of the earth is earthly, and speaketh of the earth. He that cometh from heaven is above all. And what he has seen and heard, that he testifieth, and no man receiveth his testimony. He that had received his testimony has set to his seal that Yahweh is true. For he whom Yahweh has sent speaketh the words of Yahweh. For Yahweh giveth not the Spirit by measure unto him. Meaning, he didn't give Mashiach a little of this, or a little bit of this ability, a little bit of that. He gave him a full cup of all the abilities. That's why he was able to do those things. That's why he knew what was in individual's mind. Because he gave Mashiach that spirit of discernment. He poured it on him. He gave it all to him. See, he was able to tell what was in individual's mind. Matter of fact, let's grab Luke, the 5th chapter. Let's go down to verse 22. Just a couple more. I start at 21. Luke 5:21. And the scribes and the Pharisees began to reason, saying, Who is this which speaketh blasphemies? Who can forgive sin but Yahweh alone? But Yahushua perceived their thoughts. What did he know? He knew their thoughts. He answering said unto them, what reason ye in your hearts? See, and he knew what was in their mind. He knew what they was thinking. See, but let's go here. Just quick points. St. Luke 6, and let's go down to 8. Matter of fact, I started 6. St. Luke 6:6. And it came to pass also on another Sabbath, that he entered into the synagogue and taught. And there was a man whose right hand was withered. And the scribes and Pharisees watched him, whether he would heal on the Sabbath day, that they might find an accusation against him. Verse 8. But he knew their thoughts, and said to the man which had the withered hand, rise up and stand forth in the midst. And he arose and stood forth. But the point of making is what? Yahushua knew their thoughts. You couldn't say nothing in front of him and think that he didn't know what you was going to say. He knew exactly what you say, because the Most High gave him that ability to discern, to have that insight, and he had the abundance of it. See? But let's grab this one. I'm going to end off with this one, because the point is already made. I just wanted to, bring out some scriptures on that, on those things, on that little testimony. Let's go down. Verse 25. Let me see. Well, I'll start here. Now, St. John 2:23. Now when he was in Jerusalem at the Passover and the feast day, many believed in his name, when they saw the miracle which he did. But Yahushua did not commit himself unto them, because he knew all men. What? He knew these individuals. He knew those that didn't believe, and he knew those that would. And what he said, and needed not that any man should testify of man, for he knew what was in man, meaning he knew their thoughts. He ain't need nobody to come testify him and say, oh, this person, this, that person. He already knew. See, and this is one of the abilities that the Most High will give you, that goes into that mental discernment. And I'm going to end it off there. Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahweh Shai, Kala Im Lai Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Kakadosh. This is Yahakarab ending off from proclaiming a small portion of the truth of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Shalom, Yasharala.